Welcome to the great state of Florida. We started our quest in the St. Louis area. We picked off all the easy birds around there, really put a hurting on those feathered fuckers. We got a little cocky around the chickadees and cardinals, but down here, it's a whole nother world. We don't know anything about these birds.
I mean, yeah, the bill is a little bit,
It's dark. It's got a dark bill.
The ID process goes a little something like this. Step 1, study the book. Since I'm not allowed to smoke weed here, I usually just read this every night, and that puts me to sleep. Step 2, take as many images as possible.
Alright.
Woo! Let it eat. Let it eat.
Step 3, compare those images to the book.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
This one,
Yep.
a little bit of an angled head.
Yep. It's got a flat top on
And
it.
this guy,
You can griddle some pancakes on that sucker.
that's a fucking round head.
Yeah.
Step 4, put your images on Ivy League bird software. Step 5, it's optional. Argue with moderators about those images.
Sharp Shin Talk?
I'll have to ask that little expert on the
Yeah,
internet.
we'll have to ask our buddy who knows everything about birds. Can you imagine if that was your job, just every day, just being on the internet, like, well, actually, that's not this type of honk.
The rules state you must see or hear the bird. The bird in question must be both live and wild.
That's a dead laughing goal, and that's no laughing matter.
It turns out identifying birds can be pretty tough, so we brushed up on anatomy at a musty motel. Key to identifying some birds is the length of the legs. I have not had to use the feet yet. The tail is very important when identifying a bird. Here are some examples of different tail types. We have a round tail, a flat tail, notched tail, scissor tail. I've even heard word of a swallowtail. Now, one subtle piece of bird anatomy that can be used to identify a bird is right here. The undertail coverts, which are located under the tail. Now, if you're using these to identify a bird, you're in very deep. Not displayed on this diagram is my favorite piece of bird anatomy, the cloaca. Now, birds shit, piss, fuck, and birth out of the same hole. That's efficiency. Our identification struggles are a walk in the park compared to the struggles the birds face themselves. Many birds meet an unfortunate demise at the hands of us humans, like this barred owl. We're here in Punta Gorda, Florida at the Peace River Wildlife Hospital, a place where birds don't necessarily want to end up, but they're sure glad they did when it's all over.
This guy was a broken wing that did not heal well enough for him to fly.
Mm-hmm.
He's got short flight really well, but he can't fly long distance. He can't soar. He's not going to be able to feed himself into wild sheep. Sorry.
What kind of injuries or illnesses are you seeing come in? Like, what's a common one?
Well, we get a lot of fishing line injuries in the area. You know, birds that swallowed a fish with a hook in it.
Oh.
They swallow the hook. Or there's a lot of line entangled in the mangroves and things when people cast and they get their line stuck.
Mm-hmm.
They'll just cut it,
Oh,
and then they'll leave a big, long line.
yeah.
And the birds get tangled up in that. So they get injuries, where it cuts into their, when they're trying to get away from it. It's get a lot of that. We get hit by car, hit by boat. We just had a pelican that was hit by a boat yesterday.
Oh. If you're ever given the opportunity to watch two women double team a brown pelican and shove something down its throat, I highly recommend saying yes.
That's why I put gloves on. I know, I need to do this.
Now that's something. It looks like you've definitely done that before.
Oh, yeah. Get quite a few of them that come in.
Yeah,
It's the easiest way to give them medication.
yeah. That was
What do you need first?
smooth.
Sometimes it's harder to give me medication.
The folks here do great work, and it was truly touching to see the end result. Now this pelican is free to go get tangled in 20-pound test once more.
We're here at the Corkscrew Audubon Society. They are trying to corkscrew your ass with a $17 admission fee to walk 1 mile on a boardwalk. So we're not gonna bird here. We're just gonna bird the parking lot. We got a great crested flycatcher.
You're not gonna see that on the boardwalk.
Nope, not gonna see it on the boardwalk. Let's see if we can get a little closer here. It's right perched up in the top of that tree there. You know what? You know what that bird cost? $0.
So far, we've noticed that the overarching demographic of bird finding is old rich people, which we sort of expected. Also, there's not a lot of horsing around. They take it pretty seriously.
Excuse me, do you know if you're allowed to do spook and shoot here?
I don't know what that means. So,
Spook and shoot, it's
like to scare them and then take a
yeah,
picture.
you honk your horn or you rev your engine and you get good flight shots like that. You're not.
So far, we've learned that bird finding, like any subculture, has its own exclusive lingo. One example is lifer.
No lifer, got my lifer laughing goal.
If you see a bird type for the first time ever, you call it a lifer. That's going on my life list. Another phrase is good looks. For example, I got good looks at Ruddy Turnstone. You'll notice I didn't use the article in there. I did not say I got good looks at Ruddy Turnstone. That would be wrong.
Well, as we wrap up January, it's time to go over the top 10 birds of the month. And in no particular order, here they are. Cedar waxwing. Nothing else needs to be said. Look at it. Reddish egret. I mean, this thing is definitely my favorite egret. Maybe my favorite fishing bird. It's kind of spazzy. It'll kind of run around and, just stab at fish and kind of go like this and then just pause. And then do it all again. Another good bird is a snail kite. My colleague informed me that at one time the snail kites were struggling because a native snail species was going extinct. But then luckily, just like everything else in Florida, an introduced species showed up, a new snail type, and now the snail kites are buzzing. Long-billed curlew. It's got a really long bill, and it is curled. I don't know if curlew means curled bill in French or Cantonese or something, but it's probably my favorite shorebird. Out of the 3 owl species that we saw, my favorite is the burrowing owl. About the size of a small Nerf football, and you could likely throw one like a small Nerf football, but you wouldn't ever do that. Another bird that finds itself on my top 10 list for January is the osprey. At times it was the star of the show. Now this sneaky little ditch bird snuck its way onto the top 10 list. We caught the American bittern in a roadside ditch, just poking its neck out. Just poking its little brown, white streaked little neck out. Now, if you were to just skim this list, this bird would probably jump out at you, the black skimmer. It does what its name implies. It skims the water with its razor-thin bill.
It has an underbite like the lady you see at the gas station. This next bird makes it primarily due to the song. However, it is also beautiful. The eastern meadowlark, no homo, has probably my favorite song. Here it is. Last but certainly not least is the little spotted sandpiper. And it makes the list. Well, you'll see why.
Shake your tail feather like a sandpiper. When she shake it, make a man wanna wife her. Shake your tail like a little sandpiper. I'ma take that ass home for the night. Sitting on a beach, saw a cute piper. Ask her if she had a man, she said she might.
Now those were my top 10 favorite birds. Now here's my least favorite bird of the month. It's the American robin. Now that fucking thing is just the fucking bird. I just want to grab it. Anyway, thanks for joining us. Thanks for enjoying this month with us. And I hope you join us for 11 more.
Yeah, she's shaking it, she's shaking it. Piper, piper. Yeah, she working it, she working it. Piper, piper. She ain't faking it, ain't faking it. Piper, piper. Yeah, she twerking it, she twerking it. Shake your tail feather like a sandpiper. When she shake it, make a man wanna wife her. Shake your tail like a little sandpiper.